All right, thank you for joining me for this tutorial. We're going to learn this solo on saxophone. If you've already seen some of the keyboard stuff, you get the vibe for what's going to be going on here. For the saxophone stuff, we're going to be working on the notes and the fingerings as well as the articulations. That's the main thing we can't cover on the keyboards because you just can't do that stuff that you can do on sax, and that's really the stuff that makes Kenny sound the way he sounds. So we're going to be focusing on that more than the rhythms and the fingerings that was mainly covered in the keyboard stuff. So with that said, I'm going to be occasionally reaching across here and touching some buttons here. The main reason is because I'm playing this. The same mic I'm using for my sax is the same mic that I am using to speak with. And obviously this is super loud compared to my speaking voice, so I will be switching this. And also, I got a little bit of reverb on whenever I play my sax with the recording, so it's mainly just to bypass all that stuff. Okay, with that said, we're gonna work on these first 4 bars, and let's play along with the record first, and then we'll dig in and break it down. All right, that's super clean. All right, we'll start with phrase number 1. So the opening phrase, the notes are G sharp, B, and then C sharp. Super easy. G sharp, B, and C sharp. And the important thing about these guys is the articulation that's going on. So you can see here up in finale, I've got the opening notes right here. The first note is very short, the second note is long, and the third note is very short. Now for the first note, you're gonna play it with a dit type of articulation. You'll say dit, then the second one you'll go dit, da, dit. And there's a way you can slur into the third note, like a tongued release almost. Dit, do it, like that. And that's the way he's playing these notes. Now, the other important thing to remember about these is he's hitting them really hard, and he's also growling through the first 2 phrases. So let's just play these, and I'll show you what I mean about the articulation and the growling and stuff. We'll start with the articulation. Okay, so dit, do it, like that. Dit, do it. Okay, and you just got to make sure you growl at the same time. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next phrase. So this second phrase has some similar things going on articulation-wise, and it's also growled the entire time. Note-wise, we get F sharp as the starting note, G sharp, B, C sharp, C sharp, G sharp, B, and then B. Okay, super easy. It's just very pentatonic if you know those notes. Pentatonic in the key of C sharp. Okay, I'm gonna play the phrase very slowly, and then I'll break down the articulation. One more time. Okay, now I'm clearly doing it without growling. The first 2 notes are slurred together, so you're gonna go do, like that. From F sharp to G sharp, do, dit. Then for the C sharp, you're gonna go do, dit for the 2 C sharps. Then for the G sharp and the B, you're gonna go do, like that. Or da, da, however you prefer to articulate those notes. And then the last note is very short. So the entire phrasing for this line right here is do, dit, do, dit, do, dit, like that. Do, dit, do, dit, like that. Let me play it. I'll over-articulate it so you can see what I mean. All right, and then all you have to do is just growl your way through it, and you'll be good to go. All right, I added a little bit of vibrato there. I don't know if Kenny does it on the record. He probably doesn't. This phrase goes by really quickly. Okay, let's move on to the third phrase. Now for this one, this has some Cannonball Adderley-isms in it. And by that, I mean that the last, basically what you'll do is you'll take a group of 4 notes, you'll tongue the first 2, and you'll slur over the last 2, and you'll kind of ghost the last note a little bit. Okay, so this one starts out with these notes. First we get G sharp, B, G natural, and then E. Okay, and we're going to do a scoop into the first G sharp like this. Okay, and then for the next 4 eighth notes, or next 4 16th notes, we've got F sharp, E, C sharp, and B. F sharp, E, C sharp, and then B. And for these, you're gonna go tongue, tongue, slur, slur, like that. Do, ooh, ooh is the way that we would say, or da, ah, ah for the rhythm, articulation-wise for that. That one sounds like this. All right, and then if we put them together, we get this. All right, I'm just playing it nice and slow. Okay, now on beat 4, we have these triplets. Those are E, F sharp, and then on beat 1, we play another F sharp. And for the last 2 of those triplets, we're gonna hit them kind of short. We're gonna go do, dit, dit, like that, with a kind of a hard do, dit, dit, do, do, dee, like that. Do, dit, dit, do, do, dee. Okay? That sounds like this. Okay, and if we put it together with the first chunk, we end up with this. Okay, very cool. Now for the last bar, we get F sharp, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, and then we get E, C sharp, B, B, C sharp for the last little bit. E, E, C sharp, B, B, C sharp. Now for those last 5 notes in the phrase, those are all tongue. They're all do, 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 do. Okay? So if we start from the top of that bar, we end up with something that sounds like this. One more time. Now I'm obviously overemphasizing the phrasing so that you can really hear the articulation. But one thing to note about the way Kenny plays is, in general, it's not that he's over-articulating, it's that all of his articulations have a really strong point to them, which makes it really easy to hear when he's like really nailing on notes and when he's not really nailing on notes. So when you're working on this, be sure to really focus on making sure you're articulating those notes strongly so that you can really tell that you're articulating those notes and when you're not articulating those notes. It's super important to be able to like really tell the difference, like if I'm going da, doo, da, like that. Like really overemphasize it, and then eventually you'll start to get the right effect for how hard you need to actually tongue these notes. Okay, let's play the whole phrase nice and slow so we can really hear the way these articulations work. Okay. All right, and we'll speed it up a little bit. And just a little bit faster, and we'll be pretty close to the original tempo. Okay, cool. So let's play the whole thing, and note, just remember that the first 2 are growled. Okay, and I'll give you like a 3, 4, like that. Okay, and we'll play it a little bit below tempo, and then we'll play it along with the record. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. let's play it with the record. Here we go. Let me turn on my reverb. All right, awesome. So we're going to work on the next 4 bars in the next video for saxophone. If you haven't seen the keyboard stuff, be sure to check that out because that breaks down all the rhythms and whatnot, as well as the harmonic function, which is super important to understand for all this. All right, so with that said, we can check off that we learned the notes for the first 4 bars, and we also learned the fingerings. I don't have this saying, this should say not fingerings, this should say fingerings and this should say learn the phrasing and articulation. Like that. Okay, so we have completed the first 4 bars. All right, I will see you in the next video covering the next 4 bars on saxophone. Hey, thanks again for following along and learning how to play this great Kenny Garrett solo. The next chapter in this series will appear in 1 week, and videos from my course developing Task Ch1 will be dropping daily until then. If you don't want to wait for the next video in this series to drop, then you can go to the links in the description and get the whole 10-part series right now. It's a donation-only product. You're going to get all 10 parts, the 5 saxophone parts, the 5 keyboard parts, as well as PDFs in concert pitch, as well as transposed for E-flat instruments, breaking down all the notes and the phrasing and whatnot. And if you want to check out Task Ch1 to run it on your own system for your own projects as a way to organize your own inspiration, you can download it from the links in the description. And then finally, if you've been curious about how to learn to program, you should check out my course, C++ for Musicians. In this course, I teach the language C++ in the context of developing juice-based audio applications and audio plugins. And as a bonus, if you take my course, you will get 6 weeks of mentorship from me, as well as you'll get the whole Developing Task Ch1 course included. So that's just tons and tons of programming lessons and programming goodies, as well as 6 weeks of mentorship. When I was first learning to program, I really wish that I had had somebody to be there with me through my journey and keep me on the right path and learning things the right way. Programming isn't hard, it's just taught wrong. So if you've ever been curious about learning to program, this is a great way to do it. All right, until then, I will see you in the next chapter. Thanks again for watching.